The Golden Cage. Layla Kapoor sat cross-legged on her apartment floor, surrounded by swatches of fabric in every imaginable shade. Her fingers, nimble and quick, traced patterns only she could see across a piece of crimson silk. The evening light filtered through sheer curtains, casting a golden glow over her workspace, transforming the ordinary into something magical. Her phone buzzed. Arjun again. The third time in an hour. Have you decided what you're wearing to the dinner tonight? His message read. Layla sighed, setting down the fabric. She typed, I was thinking about the blue dress you liked last month. The response came instantly. Perfect. The clients will be impressed. Nothing too flashy, right? Of course not, she replied, glancing at the vibrant designs scattered around her, sketches and patterns that would never see the light of day. Not while she was with Arjun. At 27, Layla had worked for 5 years at Elegant Traditions, one of Delhi's most prestigious textile companies. Her colleagues praised her innovative designs, but few ever made it to production. Too bold, too unconventional, too risky for the market, the managers would say. The same words Arjun used when she showed him her personal collection. She stood up, carefully folding the crimson silk and tucking it into a drawer beneath stacks of appropriate designs. Her sister Priya's wedding was 3 weeks away, and Layla had secretly begun working on something special, not just for the bride, but for herself as well. Something that Arjun would certainly disapprove of. The doorbell rang precisely at 7. Arjun Malhotra stood in the hallway, impeccably dressed in a tailored suit, his dark hair styled perfectly. At 32, he was already a junior partner at his father's investment firm, with a reputation for meticulous attention to detail and unwavering standards. You look beautiful, he said, kissing her cheek. His eyes scanned her outfit with practiced precision. The blue brings out your eyes. Thank you, Layla replied, reaching for her purse. How was your day? Productive. The Chen account is finally moving forward. He helped her into her coat. I've been thinking about your sister's wedding. The guest list includes several potential investors. It's a good opportunity for networking. Layla nodded, the familiar weight settling on her shoulders. Priya's wedding wasn't a celebration to him. It was a business opportunity, another chance to impress the right people. At dinner, Arjun dominated the conversation with the clients, occasionally prompting Layla to share an anecdote he deemed charming or appropriate. She played her part perfectly, the supportive, elegant girlfriend who knew when to speak and when to smile silently. Your girlfriend has excellent taste, Mrs. Patel, the client's wife, said to Arjun. That necklace is beautiful. Thank you, Arjun answered before Layla could speak. I picked it out for our anniversary. Layla's hand moved to the simple pearl pendant. She had actually chosen it herself, but correcting him would create tension. So she smiled and took another sip of water. Later that night, as Arjun drove her home, he reviewed the evening. You were perfect tonight. Though next time, maybe avoid mentioning your work so much. Mrs. Patel doesn't need to hear about textile dyes. She asked about my job, Layla said quietly. Yes, but it's about keeping the conversation light, darling. His hand covered hers. I'm only thinking about your best interests. You know that? At her apartment door, he kissed her goodnight. Don't stay up too late working on those sketches. You need your beauty sleep. Alone again, Layla kicked off her heels and changed into comfortable clothes. Her phone pinged with a message from Priya. How's my wedding outfit coming along? Can't wait to see it. Layla smiled genuinely for the first time that day. She pulled out the hidden crimson silk from its drawer and several other fabrics, rich golds and deep oranges that she'd been collecting in secret. Not for Priya's outfit, which Arjun had already approved, but for her own. She worked late into the night, measuring and cutting, the sound of scissors through silk like whispers of rebellion. For once, she would create something true to herself, something Arjun couldn't control. As midnight approached, Layla stepped back to look at her progress. The beginnings of a lehenga took shape, bold, vibrant, unapologetic. Everything she wasn't allowed to be. Just this once, she whispered to herself. Just for one day. Stitches of rebellion. The Sharma family home buzzed with pre-wedding chaos. Relatives from distant cities filled every room, their laughter and chatter creating a symphony of joy that had been absent from Layla's life for too long. "There you are," Priya exclaimed, pulling her sister into a quiet corner of the garden. At 25, Priya radiated the unmistakable glow of a bride-to-be, her eyes bright with excitement. "Have you brought it? Can I see?" Layla nodded, carefully unzipping the garment bag she'd been protecting throughout the journey. Inside was Priya's bridal lehenga, a masterpiece of ivory and gold, with delicate embroidery depicting lotus flowers ascending from hem to waist. Traditional enough to please the elders, yet uniquely Priya in every stitch. "Layla," Priya whispered, tears forming, "it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." "You haven't seen yourself wearing it yet?" Layla smiled, feeling a rare moment of genuine pride. "And what about yours? Did you finish it?" Priya's eyes sparkled with conspiracy. Layla hesitated. "It's almost done. Has Arjun seen it?" "Not yet." Priya's expression hardened slightly. "You're going to wear it, right?" "No matter what he says?" Before Layla could answer, a voice called from inside. "There's our brilliant designer!" Naina Mehra, the wedding planner and Priya's college friend, emerged onto the patio. With her vibrant energy and fearless style, today featuring electric blue eyeliner and a contemporary pantsuit, Naina was everything Layla had once aspired to be. "The bride's outfit is absolute perfection," Naina declared, examining the lehenga. "Now please tell me you've created something equally magnificent for yourself." Layla smiled nervously. "It's different from what I usually wear." "Thank God for that," Naina said with a wink. "Those beige and pastel nightmares Arjun approves don't do justice to your talent." "Naina!" Priya scolded, though her eyes betrayed agreement. "What?" "Everyone thinks it." Naina shrugged unapologetically. "Even your brother Vika says it's like watching a colorful bird being trained to stay inside a gray box." Layla felt her cheeks burn. Was her relationship really that transparent to everyone? That evening, Arjun arrived for the family dinner, immediately commanding attention with his practiced charm. He greeted Layla's parents with respectful touches to their feet, complimented her aunties on their appearance, and discussed business with her uncles. "The perfect prospective son-in-law. There's my beautiful fiancé," he said, finding Layla helping in the kitchen. His eyes narrowed slightly at her simple salwar kameez. "I thought you'd wear that blue outfit I sent over." "I was cooking," Layla explained. "I'll change before dinner." Arjun nodded, satisfied. "Good, the Singhanias are coming tonight. Remember, Mr. Singhania is considering investing with us." In her childhood bedroom, Layla opened her suitcase and removed the blue Georgette outfit Arjun had chosen. Elegant but forgettable. Beneath it lay her secret creation. A lehenga in shades of sunset, crimson silk base with layers of orange and gold embroidery, paired with a short-sleeved blouse that revealed more than Arjun would ever approve. Her hand hovered between the two garments. Her phone buzzed with a message from Arjun. "Hurry down! Important people waiting!" With trembling hands, Layla reached for the blue outfit. But then her eyes caught a photograph on her dresser, teenage Layla and Priya, faces painted with vibrant holy colors, laughing without restraint. When had she last felt that free? A knock on the door startled her. Naina entered without waiting for a response. "Still deciding whether to be yourself or Arjun's mannequin?" she asked bluntly. "It's complicated," Layla sighed. "He has certain expectations." "And what about your expectations?" Naina challenged. "Has he ever worried about meeting those?" Layla remained silent. "Look," Naina said, her voice softening. "I've known you since college. You were the girl who designed an entire collection inspired by feminist poetry. Who wore mismatched shoes because you liked them both? What happened to her?" "She grew up," Layla said quietly. "Realized that relationships require compromise." "Compromise, yes. Erasure, no." Naina picked up the crimson lehenga. "This is your art, Layla. If he can't appreciate your masterpiece, he doesn't deserve the artist." After Naina left, Layla sat on her bed, the two outfits before her representing two possible futures. The dinner gathering downstairs grew louder. Her phone buzzed again. "Everyone's waiting." "Where are you?" With a deep breath, Layla made her choice. 20 minutes later, she descended the stairs. Conversations hushed as heads turned. The crimson and gold lenga caught the light, the intricate embroidery telling stories with every movement. She had styled her hair in loose waves rather than her usual tight bun, with simple gold earrings completing the transformation. She spotted Arjun across the room, his expression shifting from impatience to shock to thinly veiled anger. Beside him, an older gentleman, presumably Mr. Singhania, was staring appreciatively. "My goodness," Mrs. Sharma exclaimed, "Layla, you look absolutely stunning. Did you design this yourself?" Mr. Singhania asked as Layla approached. The unraveling. The morning of Priya's wedding arrived with golden sunshine and fragrant jasmine garlands adorning every doorway. The family home had transformed into a wonderland of flowers, lights, and color. Everywhere, preparations accelerated. Caterers arranged elaborate displays, musicians tuned their instruments, and relatives fussed over last-minute details. Layla hadn't heard from Arjun since their confrontation 2 nights before. No calls, no messages. The longest they'd gone without communication in 3 years. "He'll be here," her mother assured, misreading Layla's quiet demeanor for worry. "Men just need time to cool their tempers." Layla nodded, not bothering to correct her. The truth was, she had slept better these past 2 nights than she had in months. The constant anxiety of meeting Arjun's expectations had lifted, leaving her feeling strangely weightless. As she helped Priya prepare for the ceremony, arranging the bridal dupatta and adjusting the jewelry, Naina slipped into the room. "Incoming drama," she warned. "Arjun just arrived with his parents." Priya squeezed Layla's hand. "You don't have to face him right now." "Yes, I do," Layla replied. "It's your wedding day. I won't let anything disrupt it." For the ceremony, Layla wore another creation she'd secretly made, a deep purple anarkali with silver embroidery, elegant yet distinctly her own design. She took her place among the family, conscious of Arjun's gaze burning into her from across the mandap. The wedding rituals proceeded beautifully. Watching her sister and new brother-in-law exchange vows with such genuine love, Layla felt both joy and a twinge of envy, not for their happiness, but for their authenticity with each other. During the reception, as guests mingled and celebrated, Arjun finally approached. He was impeccably dressed as always, his expression carefully controlled. "You've made your point," he said quietly. "Now we can move past this little rebellion." Layla looked at him, really looked at him, seeing the handsome face that had once made her heart race. Now she saw something else. The rigid expectations behind his smile, the conditional nature of his affection. "There's nothing to move past, Arjun. This isn't a rebellion. It's who I am." His practiced smile faltered. "You're upset? We'll discuss this later when you're thinking clearly." "I'm thinking more clearly than I have in years," Layla countered. "The problem isn't this outfit or the one from 2 nights ago. The problem is that you want to control everything about me, what I wear, what I say, who I can be. That's ridiculous. I've supported your career. You've tolerated it, as long as it doesn't interfere with your image of the perfect girlfriend." A muscle twitched in Arjun's jaw. "You're making a scene." "No, I'm having a conversation. A real one, maybe, for the first time." As they spoke, Layla noticed a man watching them from across the room, tall with thoughtful eyes behind stylish glasses, dressed in a simple but elegant kurta. Something about his quiet attentiveness suggested he understood more than he should about their conversation. Arjun followed her gaze, his expression darkening. "Is that what this is about? You've met someone else?" "No," Layla said firmly. "This is about me finally realizing what I've given up to be with you." "I've given you everything," Arjun hissed, his composure slipping. "Status, connections, a future. I've shaped you from an awkward designer into someone who can move in important circles." His words hung in the air between them, the truth of their relationship finally spoken aloud. "You didn't shape me. Arjun, you diminished me." Layla felt tears threatening but refused to let them fall. "And I let you because I thought love meant compromise. It does. Not like this. Not when it's only one person doing all the compromising." Around them, the celebration continued, oblivious to the relationship unraveling in their midst. Music pulsed, laughter flowed, and on the dance floor, Priya twirled in her wedding lehenga, radiant and free. "So what are you saying?" Arjun demanded, his voice tight. Layla took a deep breath. "I'm saying goodbye. Don't be dramatic. You're throwing away 3 years over a dress?" "No. I'm reclaiming myself after 3 years of slowly disappearing." Arjun's expression hardened. "You'll regret this. Without me, you'll go nowhere. Your designs are too radical, too unmarketable. I was the one who gave you stability." For a moment, doubt flickered through Layla. What if he was right? What if this newfound courage was just temporary madness? Then she caught sight of her reflection in a decorative mirror, the woman in purple standing straight, no longer diminished. The woman who had created beauty from nothing but thread and imagination. "I'd rather fail authentically than succeed as someone else," she said quietly. Arjun stared at her, waiting for her to retract, to apologize as she always had before. When she remained silent, his face contorted with a flash of genuine hurt before settling into cold indifference. "Keep the ring," he said finally. "Consider it payment for the years you've wasted." He turned and walked away, stopping only to make polite goodbyes to her parents, maintaining appearances until the end. Layla stood alone, the weight of what she'd done slowly sinking in. 3 years, an engagement, a future that had seemed certain, now dissolved. "Are you all right?" a gentle voice asked. She turned to find the man in glasses standing nearby. Respectful distance between them, genuine concern in his eyes. "I will be," she answered, surprising herself with how true it felt. Part 4. New Patterns. 3 months after Priya's wedding, Layla sat in a sunlit cafe sketching designs on a tablet. The breakup with Arjun had been messier than she'd anticipated. His parting words about her career had proven partially true. When she submitted her most innovative designs to elegant traditions, they were rejected as inconsistent with company direction. 2 weeks later, she was politely but firmly let go. The loss of both her relationship and job within a month should have devastated her. Instead, after the initial shock, Layla found herself experiencing an unfamiliar emotion. "Liberation. Those look promising," a voice commented. Layla looked up to find Vikram Saxena, the man from Priya's wedding, standing beside her table, 2 coffee cups in hand. In the months since their first brief conversation, they had developed an unexpected friendship. As Naina's cousin and a graphic novelist, Vikram moved in creative circles that welcomed Layla's artistic sensibilities rather than constraining them. "Mind if I join you?" he asked, already placing a cappuccino before her, remembered from their last meeting. "Please do," she smiled. "I could use a second opinion on these wedding collection sketches." Vikram settled across from her, his presence calming in its lack of demands. Unlike Arjun's polished perfection, Vikram embraced a thoughtful dishevelment. Today's rumpled linen shirt rolled at the sleeves, revealing forearms covered in abstract ink drawings he used to test designs for his graphic novels. "So the boutique in Juhu liked your previous samples?" he asked, studying her designs with genuine interest. "Enough to commission an entire collection," Layla confirmed, still amazed by the opportunity that had emerged from the ruins of her previous life. "If this works out, it could lead to a permanent position." "When it works out," Vikram corrected gently. "Your work deserves to be seen." Layla felt the now familiar warmth his encouragement always brought. With Arjun, compliments had been conditional rewards. With Vikram, appreciation flowed naturally, without expectation. "How's the apartment hunting going?" he asked, changing the subject. Layla groaned. "Mumbai real estate is impossible. Everything in my budget is either too far from the design district or practically a closet." "Actually," Vikram said, a slight hesitation in his voice, "my building has a unit opening up next month. 1 bedroom, decent size, great light for a studio space. The landlord owes me a favor after I designed his daughter's wedding invitations." "That sounds perfect," Layla said cautiously. "But won't it be complicated? Us living in the same building?" The question hung between them, acknowledging the unspoken attraction that had been growing since their first meeting. Neither had acted on it. Layla still healing from Arjun, Vikram respectfully giving her space. "Only if we make it complicated," he replied simply. "Friends help friends find good apartments. The rest happens or doesn't, in its own time." The ease of his response, the absence of pressure, confirmed what Layla had begun to understand about healthy relationships. They enhanced rather than restricted. Later that evening, Layla FaceTimed with Priya, newly returned from her honeymoon. "You look different," Priya observed. "Happier. I am," Layla admitted. "It's strange. Losing everything I thought I needed has somehow given me everything I actually want." "And does what you want include a certain bespectacled artist?" Priya teased. Layla felt her cheeks warm. "We're just friends." For now, Priya smiled knowingly. "But when you're ready, don't hold back because of what happened with Arjun. Some men actually appreciate strong, creative women." "I'm learning that," Layla acknowledged. That night, as rain pattered against her window, Layla worked late finalizing designs. Her phone buzzed with a message from Vikram. "Just passed a street vendor selling those kachori you like. Bought extra, bringing some over if you're still awake." 10 minutes later, they sat on her tiny balcony, sharing spicy snacks and conversation that flowed effortlessly from work to dreams to philosophy. When their hands accidentally touched, reaching for the same piece, neither pulled away immediately. "I've been meaning to ask," Vikram said after a comfortable silence. "That night at the wedding, when you ended things with Arjun, what finally gave you the courage?" Layla considered the question carefully. "It wasn't courage exactly. More like clarity. I realized I was already alone, even with him beside me. At least this way I could be alone and true to myself." Vikram nodded thoughtfully. "Sometimes the bravest thing isn't making a dramatic change, but simply stopping the daily compromise of who you really are." "Exactly," Layla whispered, struck by how perfectly he understood. As he prepared to leave, standing in her doorway, the air between them shifted. Vikram reached out slowly, telegraphing his intention, giving her every opportunity to step back. Instead, Layla moved forward, her heart racing as his fingers gently tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. "I should go," he said softly, though his eyes said something different. "You should," Layla agreed, equally insincere. Neither moved. Rain continued to fall outside, creating a private world of just the two of them. "Layla," Vikram began, his voice low, "I've wanted to kiss you since the moment I saw you standing up for yourself at that wedding. But I don't want to be the rebound or the reaction to what he was." Layla placed her hand over his, still lingering near her face. "You could never be that. You're the opposite of everything he represented." Slowly, giving her every chance to reconsider, Vikram leaned down. Their lips met in a kiss that held none of the possession or demand she'd grown accustomed to, only mutual discovery, gentle exploration, and a question rather than a claim. When they parted, both slightly breathless, Layla smiled. "You should still go," she whispered. "Not because I want you to, but because we have time. Real time, to do this right." Vikram nodded, understanding perfectly. "Dinner tomorrow? My place?" "I'll cook. I'd like that," Layla replied. As the door closed behind him, she touched her lips, marveling at how different it felt to be wanted rather than possessed. Part 5. Woven Destiny, 1 year later. The converted warehouse space buzzed with anticipation. Fashion bloggers, local celebrities, and boutique owners filled the room, champagne glasses in hand. All gathered for the launch of Threads Unbound, Layla Kapoor's debut independent collection. Behind a temporary partition that served as backstage, Layla adjusted a model's dupatta, her hands steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her. This moment represented everything she had worked for. Not just the past 12 months of near-impossible hours and creative risks, but the journey to reclaim her voice. 5 minutes, Naina announced, clipboard in hand. As the event coordinator, she had transformed the raw space into an elegant showcase with runway lighting that highlighted the intricate details of Layla's designs. "The crowd is perfect. Even that fashion editor from Vogue is here." Layla nodded, attempting to calm her racing heart. "Where's Vikram?" Front row looking nervous enough for both of you, Nina laughed. That man adores you, you know. Before Layla could respond, her phone buzzed with a notification. Priya, now 7 months pregnant and unable to travel, had just connected to the live stream. Another message followed immediately. A screenshot from Elegant Traditions' website, where Arjun's father had just been announced as the new chairman. The accompanying note from Priya read simply, "You escaped just in time." Layla felt a momentary chill, imagining the alternate reality where she might still be designing safe, marketable pieces under increasingly conservative leadership, where she might be planning a wedding to a man who valued her compliance over her creativity. "Ready?" Naina asked, interrupting her thoughts. "More than ready," Layla confirmed. The music began, a fusion of traditional instruments and contemporary beats that perfectly matched the aesthetic of her collection. One by one, models emerged onto the runway, showcasing designs that blended heritage craftsmanship with bold, modern silhouettes. Traditional embroidery techniques adorned unconventional cuts. Ancient textile methods were applied to contemporary styles. Standing at the end of the runway, Layla watched as the audience reacted, eyebrows raised in appreciation, phones lifted to capture particularly striking pieces, heads nodding in approval. In the front row, Vikram beamed with undisguised pride. The finale piece, a bridal ensemble that reimagined traditional red in a spectrum of sunset hues, with innovative draping that honored tradition while challenging it, drew audible gasps, followed by enthusiastic applause. When Layla stepped out for her bow, the room erupted. The standing ovation washed over her like a wave, validating not just her designs, but her journey. Later, as the crowd mingled and buyers approached with business cards and interest, Layla found a moment alone with Vikram in a quiet corner. "You did it," he said, his eyes shining with emotion, "though I never doubted you would." "We did it," Layla corrected, thinking of the countless nights he had brought her tea as she worked, the weekends he had helped her source fabrics across the city, the unwavering belief when self-doubt crept in. "I couldn't have done this without you." "Yes, you could have," Vikram said firmly. "That's what makes us work, Layla. I'm not the reason for your success. I'm just lucky enough to witness it." She reached for his hand, marveling at how different love could be when it expanded rather than confined. Their relationship had developed slowly, intentionally. Weekend trips to textile markets, long conversations about their creative processes, gradually sharing more of their lives until, 6 months ago, Layla had moved from the apartment across the hall into Vikram's. "I have something for you," he said, reaching into his pocket. "I was going to wait, but, well, tonight seems perfect." Layla's breath caught as he withdrew a small box. Unlike the last time she had seen such a box, when Arjun had efficiently presented an engagement ring he had selected without her input, this moment felt collaborative, an extension of the partnership they had built. Inside wasn't a traditional engagement ring, but a pair of antique silver Kangen bracelets, delicately engraved with a pattern Layla instantly recognized. The same motif she had incorporated into her very first independent design, the one Vikram had first complimented. "These belong to my grandmother," Vikram explained, "a symbol of creative legacy in our family. She wore them while painting until her final days." He hesitated, suddenly uncharacteristically nervous. "I'm not proposing, not exactly. At least not in the traditional sense." "What are you doing, exactly?" Layla asked, smiling at his endearing uncertainty. "Offering a partnership," he said. "Creative, personal, and equal. No timelines or societal expectations. Just us, building something meaningful together, however that looks." Tears filled Layla's eyes as he slipped the bangles onto her wrist. The weight of them felt right, substantial but not restrictive, a presence that enhanced rather than limited. "I love you," she said simply. "Not for what you give me or how you complete me, but for how you encourage me to be completely myself." Their kiss was interrupted by the approach of a well-known designer, one of Layla's longtime inspirations, eager to discuss a potential collaboration. As they parted, Vikram whispered, "Go shine! I'll be here when you're done." Hours later, as the successful launch party wound down, Layla found herself standing alone for a moment, surveying the space. Fashion industry leaders held her lookbooks. Boutique owners discussed order quantities, and several young design students hovered nearby, clearly hoping to speak with her. Her phone buzzed with an unexpected notification, a professional message from Arjun. Formal and impersonal. Congratulations on your launch. Elegant Traditions would be interested in discussing wholesale opportunities. Layla smiled to herself, recognizing the message for what it was. Not an olive branch, but a business calculation. The girl he had tried to diminish was now a designer he couldn't afford to ignore. She slipped the phone back into her pocket without responding. Some threads, once cut, were better left untied. Across the room, she caught Vikram's eye. He was deep in conversation with a graphic design colleague, but his gaze remained connected to hers, a silent communication that had become their special language. In that look was everything: pride without possession, support without control, love without limitation. Layla touched the silver bangles on her wrist, feeling their cool weight. A reminder of where she had come from and a promise of where she might go. The journey from the woman who changed herself to please a man to the designer launching her own vision had been neither straight nor simple. There had been financial struggles, creative blocks, moments of doubt. But standing amid the tangible results of her courage, surrounded by the tapestry of new relationships she had woven, Layla knew with absolute certainty some patterns were worth breaking so that new, more beautiful ones could emerge. She moved forward to greet her admirers, walking with the confidence of a woman who had designed not just a collection, but her own freedom.